Good morning. Hello. We have a Zilby here. He's been following me around the house this morning. Slightly freaked out. Not exactly sure why. Maybe because it's suddenly cold again after being warm for a few days. Also, may have seen something outside, so that's too. That's an option too. All right. So, what are we working on today? Today we are going through and dealing with creating tags. And so what we have here is, so on change, it updates this, but when I submit it, I don't get that thing. I do get this as a, hey, we got the tag. Okay, so that's good to know. But I need to empty out the form. So I had a couple ideas of what we could do. One of the ideas is to, well, I I think what's happening is that internal state is not being updated by by this component here, and that's because it's taking the value of itself to determine, like, well, to uh, to update the state. So when the properties update, that won't trigger a re-render of this component simply because it's not updating its internal state, and updating the property isn't enough to re-render it. So let's go to pages tags. Oh, okay. So one idea here is to make it. I can't do it in this thing. I need to do it in YCL. We head to the input element. So this value is the initial value because we just use this straight into use state here. I'm really curious. Is there a use? All. There's no help here? There we go. Okay, so I want to use, is there something where it'll tell me, like, the properties changed? Okay, so we prepared state, context. We could use effect and then check. That's not necessarily what I want to do. Interesting. This hook returns the latest immutable reference to state or props. Let latest state equals use latest state.clone. Oh, interesting. So I could have this use latest. and it takes in a state that would be this value essentially. So we have the initial state here. Oh, okay. So if I do use latest, not really sure that's going to do what I think it's going to do. So that passes in, oh, the latest state. Okay. Okay, I don't think that's what I want to use. I think I mentioned this before. I don't like the fact that this isn't alphabetized and it changes orders around. So I feel like I have to go to the documentation page to take a look at this. Use toggle track state of counterparts. I don't think that's what I want. Use effect update. Runs an effect only on updates. This might be what I want. So I want every time that, dismiss that. Let's try use effect update. This hook ignores the first invocation on mount. The signature is exactly the same as the use effect hook. Okay, so it's only on other times. When used in function components and in hooks, this hook is equivalent to, okay, it's great. So let's try this. Inside of here, I want to get that value. And if it's different than the state, I want to set it to the state. Or maybe I just set it to be what the state is. So do let, let's do a block here. So this is going to be prop value. We come into here. I need the state too. Okay, so if I do that, maybe this will work. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, so I get the tag name. So I see this console log that I do here. Oh man, it would be so nice if I actually saw like the real like where it went. I think I need to do, but there's a better way for me to handle the log so I can get like the line number of like the actual thing that it was sending. Or maybe like a stack trace for like just normal logs. Maybe we can do that. That'd almost be like an error though, which is kind of weird. Yes, that's emptying out correctly. That is not, but am I passing in the new value? So over here, here's my tag. There's my pre-tag with the sort of like showing off the new tag state. Um, I'm doing. Do I need to clone you? Not really. Uh oh. Infinite loop. Okay. So this is setting the new prop value. I want it to be set only if it's not the same. So I need the um, state value equal to value dot deref. We could clone it. I think I can also just do this, right? And then if the state value is not equal to the prop value, set the value to the prop value. Cannot implicitly wait. Are these Here's our attribute values. I guess I can't compare them. Okay, so I can't compare references with them. State value is the reference. Okay, so let's just do. We'll deref you and then clone you. Okay, let's try that. Hey, that works. Okay. And we get that to disappear. Okay, excellent. Excellent. So now we can have you. Oh, I did the thing again. So I'm going to go pane, turn off. It's not pane. Is it tab? It's tab sync. Turn that off. Okay, remove you. When we get the data back, we can log this data so we get the new tag name in there. Okay, so there we go. So this should pass those tests to the next version. Flint Rusty, hello. How are you doing today? Brooks with an S, not a Z or an E. Okay, let's see what happened here. We expect that the tag name to be visible. Okay, so now we expect it to be added in here. So we have these tags here. We now expect to just send this off and to do the thing, which we obviously haven't done yet. You're good. You're looking into creating a Python chatbot integrated with Microsoft Teams. The thing is, you don't know Python. You know Java. Also, if you know pretty much any programming language, Python's not really that hard to learn. It's got some interesting syntax, like the no semicolons thing and the no blocks thing. So, well, I guess maybe a better way to put it, to be more like explicit, would be it's required implicit semicolons, required implicit blocks. That's kind of what it is. Because like you still have blocks because you have to tab in and then it knows that that's a block, but you cannot use the curly brackets. You cannot use semicolons. You're looking at the chatbot template. You can't understand anything. Oh no! I you. I mean, if you give it like a little bit of time, it should come to you. Like Python's one of those languages where once once you sit in it a little bit of time, it's like, oh, okay, I'm starting to get it now. It's weird, but it's like, okay, I see. Do I need to start a basic tutorial to understand the basics first? I mean, that depends upon how you best learn and work with stuff. Like for me, I tend to jump in first and then look for tutorials based upon what I'm having the most trouble with. Uh, but that's not always the same for everybody else. Like many people will run in like needs like something what you're talking about is like a basic tutorial to get started, and he's like, okay, I get it now. Let me just jump in and do it. Something that's really cool with Python that we don't get with many other languages, especially Java, is the idle. So if I open up here, let's do tab new Python. So if I just run Python, do I not have Python? Oh, I have Python 3. Okay. If you just run Python, it drops you into an idle, which is an interactive programming environment for Python. Yeah, exactly. It's not IDE, it's idle. I remember being really confused with that for a long time, and I still forget what all the. It's still interactive development environment, but there's something else. Like the L is something, and I forget what it is. But you can now program with this, so you can just do like, okay, I want to do I want to create a functions like def, my func. You take in, I don't know. I'm trying to remember like how Python works. Is there types in Python now? I remember there not being types, so it's like a, and then I want to return um a plus two. Oh, and right, it's not rest. So return a plus two. You do that, and then we're done. And then I can call my func. So my func and pass in three, and I get five there like that. So you notice here that this looks really weird, right? Because there's no semicolons on here. Although I guess for the return on rest, that's probably fine, right? But I you do have a colon that we require just for this my func. I don't think everything starting to block needs it, but I could be wrong. I haven't really used three very much. I use two a lot more. Yes, exactly. This can be used for quick tests and playing around and sort of like understanding how the language works without like spinning up entire large documents. Um, and then the block, when I got to the end here, my cursor was on the far left here. I just hit return one more and it knew, okay, this function, I'm writing this function, that's over because I didn't tab in. Now I hit 2 spaces as my indentation. This is really, 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 really important here. Everything in this file that I'm using now has to have 2 spaces because if I use a tab, that will be considered different white space and nothing will work, and Python will yell at you and say that you're a terrible programmer and you should quit. So Python is really, really strict on this spacing, which is nice in some ways because it means that you can open up anybody's Python and it's guaranteed to be indented properly. You probably don't. So I haven't like explicitly installed Python as far as I know. Oh, you're on Windows. You probably need to install Python because I'm on a Mac here, so it's more of like a Unix environment, so I can just install Python pretty easily. Um, pip is their cargo, so like you can install crates with pip. I don't. In order to get pip, you have to install Python. But I never really like back when I was using Python a lot. I was scripting. I didn't really use many of the pips. I just wrote all the stuff by scratch myself. Explicit install. Do you use something like Chocolatey or Scoop with Windows? You should be able to install Python through one of those. I actually have that on my Windows computer. Let me see. Oh, wrong keyboard. What is this? This is gonna be a terminal. Also, if you want to be really fast with it, like just install Windows Subsystem for Linux. Maybe that would work. I don't even have my desktop on my scene. Hold on, can I do that? Kind of, I think. Oh no, that's just completely empty. That's cool. Wait, what are you? Display. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I just can't see my preview while I'm doing this. So, do I have Python? Oh, I have Python 3 also here. Interesting. Okay, so I must have done Chocolatey. Oh, I think I have Scoop. Scoop update. Yeah. Scoop and update are pretty much like very similar in like the end goal of like just installing stuff. Okay, it's been a long time since I've updated any of this. Okay, so I want to do Scoop search Python. It's probably going to be the same thing for Chocolatey. You like have to update it, install it. It's like if you're no Mac, it's homebrew essentially. It's like the same general idea. All right, so here I could do scoop install Python, and that's 3. I have no idea what Win Python is. No, scoop is just different. I had so on a previous Windows computer, I used Chocolatey, and then after that, I tried Scoop because I found both of them the first time I looked for it, and I don't have any, I don't care whatsoever. They're both they both seem to be good enough for what we want. So whichever works for you is all that really matters. So yeah, if I then install this, this would install Python 3. I might already have it installed through here. Can I do, because like I have Python 3. No, that install. Okay, never mind. fine. I assume that what you're working with requires Python 3 and not Python 2. Because if it's Python 2, then obviously you have to go digging for you have to go digging to figure out where Python 2 binaries are. Python 3, so Python has had the worst update from 2 to 3 of any language or framework or anything that I've ever seen. Like it makes the Angular 1 to 2 look good. Okay, so now if I type Python, yeah, I'm in here. So I'm good. Yeah, latest is good. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to go to Python 4 because like that really traumatized the community. For those of you who don't know or unaware, Python 2 has been around forever. There were so many libraries and frameworks and everything else for it. Python 3 was announced and released. It changed some things, which like are probably for the better. Like for example, they started requiring like parentheses for some of the functions, and like apparently you didn't need that before. They updated a lot of stuff with like modules and other things. Like it's good things to have. Good, and they made it faster. Super good. But it was not even close to backwards compatible. Like it broke a lot of stuff. And that caused a lot of the scientific community who had a lot of their libraries were for Python 2, did not work on Python 3. And so they're like, well, I will wait until everybody else updates before I update my stuff. So when I was a sysadmin, when this was happening, we had scientists who were asking us, hey, can we install Python 3? I installed it for them. And then like the next day they're like, hey, can you uninstall Python 3? And yeah, that was terrible. And I'm not going to work to do that. And I think a lot of people were just like, I'll wait till other people update to Python 3. And it just became this nightmare where a lot of people were just refusing to update their libraries. And that what Python 3 has been out for like 15 years or something like that now? 10 years at least? It's been a journey. But yeah, there it goes. So that's how quickly I got Python installed on Windows, and I bet it works with everything you want. Otherwise, I would use Windows Subsystem for Linux and have that doing its thing. Cool, and that sent me back. Nice. Absolutely, yeah. And if I'm not online, then you could join the Discord as well. Oh yeah. What are you looking at, Zilby? Like, I have a window down here. I'm in the basement. I have a window, but it like doesn't go to anywhere because it's like the emergency egress. Like, do you see a bug? No? Okay. His name is Zilbe. Zilbe. All right. And he's around 2 years old or so. If you go back long enough, you'll see in like some of my VODs, him as a super kitten. We got him at we think 10 weeks old from a rescue. And then he's been living with us happy ever since. And every once in a while, he makes a appearance on the stream. The rest of the time, he'll hang up with my wife, and you know ask her for food or something else. Unless she's doing something really boring, then he'll come down here for. I play with him a lot recently, so I think he's much more happier with me now. All right, so let's see. I've got you going. All right, we need to do the actual thing now. So, you know what? Something else that I'm curious about. Can I do an npm? So g install playwright. Oh, I mean, yeah, but if you have any questions or thoughts or comments, absolutely feel free to ask around. I love just sort of chatting about this. Okay, so I on one of the discords that I was on, there was a message saying that Playwright just had a major update. Apparently, okay, let's just also get rid of this. So install npm and just update that too. Okay, so I have Playwright installed. I think it had to be globally installed. Maybe I'm not correct about that. npm update to update all of the things in my Node.js. Okay, so now can I do npx playwright? What can we do? So open page in browser. There's the code gen. We have the test viewer. Okay, we can do the test. There's this headed now. Can I use that now? Run tests in headed browsers. I think I haven't tried that before. Oh, I can force the tracing mode on, which would be nice. Oh, here it is. UI. Run tests in interactive UI mode. I think that's the new thing. So I want UI. This is really small. So now if I say, okay, run the tests. Now we get the Cypress type interface where we can actually see the test running and see everything else going, which is exactly what I want to see. Okay, so we have an only on this one, which is why it's skipping everything else. So tags. All right, so it starts here, goes to here, does some page routes, logs me in. Oh, error logging in from cookie. Oh, okay. What are you upset at? Expect received to be visible. That's that thing though. So we add cookies and we go to. Oh, do we have to go to slash? I'm confused about this. So if I go to tag spec, here's my author. Okay. So I create this route to intercept. I create a fake tag name. I run the login function that we have. So I'm saying like, hey, login as an author. There's the page to do it on. Then we go to tags. It's sort of like feeling like it's skipping that login. Although the add cookies is part of the login, but I feel like it's supposed to go to slash afterwards as part of login. I bet that's what it is. I bet if I go to slash. So if I go that, if I find tags, where is it? It's okay, go to slash await page dot get by role. I want a link. I want the name to be, what is it? Tags. I want it to be the first, and then click on it. Okay. Do I have to rerun you now? Okay, yeah, that's a lot different. So, oh yeah, look at that. I'm still not logged in. Error logging in from cookie. Am I moving too fast? What's my it's like I need to look. Oh, okay. So we got a server responder status of 401 because it actually tried to go to auth 0. Oh, well, that would be a problem. Okay. So it actually tried to go to auth 0. So my tests are not correct right now. So I have this login here. Oh, is it because I have this page route? Oh, and if I do this twice, it undoes the other one. Is that right? No, it should be able to add both of them in here. I would imagine it could do both of them. Hold on, let's do, if I go to login, no, if I go to utils, here's that login. So I go to slash, wait until network idle, route to page. Okay, so do this, fulfill that. And then let's do another, that there. Okay, let's go to tag spec again. Oh, you know what? We also need to wait here. Skip roll. Actually, I think this is all gonna be fine now. Maybe? Let's find out. Still have that error logging in. Failed to load resource. The server responded to the status of 401. So it actually made. Oh. Okay, so it went to the correct URL. I got this unauthorized body back because it actually went to here. That makes me wonder, in that utils. Nope. Okay, so we have this auth 0 domain here. Is this what I think it is? Guess that would be the next question is, if I do this in the other order, would that work? Okay, so I have this auth0 domain, get that. Okay, so can I do, like, what is it? Page.log? No, I can't log. That's a snippet. That's not really. Is there a log? I don't know. We'll do just console.log. I want to see what this auth0 domain is. Okay, so if I save that, back to here again. Okay, so create a new page. We create this route. Can I see what that route is? Okay, so this is we can watch it like going through the test code here. This is really nice. So this is creating this route. Okay, so I see this other route right here. So then we create this route, and then we go to slash. So that's part of login. So go to slash, do another route here. We add the cookies. We go back here again, and we wait until network idle. And here we have an error showing up. So error logging in from cookie. I also have, I was trying to do a log. It's like their log. It's not my log. Can I see my log in here? No, I can't. Oh. So I think I have a .env. Is that not running here? Lego Logic, hello. Thoughts on Copilot? I think that Copilot is good at well, okay. I haven't used it since it released. My experience with it was during the beta, and I used it for a couple different projects right up until I started doing the U course. Then I stopped using it for that, so I didn't have it on there. So if you go back in time and sort of like see it, you'll see me like playing around with it. I used it mostly for Rust, so not for its intended purpose, which also might sort of change my thoughts and feelings on it a little bit. Although one of the team members that I have on my team does use it quite extensively, and I don't have any problems with that. He what what I noticed is that it changed the dynamic of writing code to mostly reviewing and reading code. So for like more business type stuff, yeah, that might be better because like it tries to like help you out, but I do notice that it was oftentimes wrong in the same ways that like Chat GPT could be just wrong, but wrong in a super confident way. Like, okay, I'm going to inject all this stuff into your code and there you go. Have fun. And it's like it changes it from I'm going to write a bunch of code to I'm going to read another developer's like, this assistance code and then clean it up and update it because it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. And it's really bad when it doesn't. So you have to sort of like deal with that. So it feels like it's not quite as fun to me programming. Like it takes that away and it makes it more of I'm just code reviewing constantly. Makes you tool dependent though, hence limiting your ability to be good at something. I would say it changes it from the um it changes it to you have to like review other people's code, which means you have to know the code and what you want really well. Uh so like I don't think it necessarily makes you tool dependent unless you're only doing really basic stuff because like the basic stuff it seems to be okay with doing on its own, but if you're like trying to solve business problems it doesn't solve those. It like doesn't know what you really want to do behind the scenes, and so it just sort of guesses. And I noticed that a lot of times it was just not exactly what I wanted. So yeah, it's more like an assistant. It's more like an assistant for predefined algorithms. Like if you don't remember, like how do I do, um, what's a good search algorithm that you might have to like do if you're ever working like C or C++ or something that doesn't have it for you. I need to implement like I don't know, a bubble sort. It's gonna do it. It's gonna do it. I need to like implement a tree algorithm. It's gonna do that really well. It'll help others that are disabled. It's sort of like running with macros in Rust, right? Like it's code generation for you. The problem with it is that you can't be confident that the code generation it gives you is right. So it's not it's like having a pre-junior developer, like somebody who's read a couple books but not really programmed themselves. They're copying and pasting code from like a library that they have somewhere, and then you're just having to review it constantly. Yeah, so I think that like as they get better with this is going to help with people, help with all of us, get really fast at like building the right things. This goes into like my entire arguments for like if we are being replaced by these tools, it means we're standing still and we're not learning and improving and all that stuff. What we do, you know, in the theoretical Tomorrowland, is going to be probably very different than what we're doing right now. But that's fine. We're professional problem solvers. We're professional learners and growers, and we'll stay up with it and do what needs to be done to solve the problems. Also, hello Coding Garden fan, and hello Chantilly. AI does learn faster. AI does learn faster than humans, though. So I don't know enough about AI to like to understand how it does. It like yes, I think I think it does, but like we learn pretty fast, but in very different ways. Like I think you're right. It's gonna be an assistant in ways that like we're still trying to figure out. I think I if you look at what is it called? There's the let's see if I can find it. I want to see the find the trough of despair. Trough of despair. Okay, so it's an image search thing. Looking for which one I. Oh, the trough of disillusionment. This one's good. Okay. Oh, this okay. Somebody put this on. Seems like they're releasing new versions recently. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I haven't looked at it recently because now they're charging for it. They sent me an email saying like, "Hey, thank you for beta testing it. If you would like, you can now use it for $10 a month." I'm like, I'm okay. I I don't like it that much. All right, so this is a really cool infographic for like just any new thing. Like we saw this with cryptocurrency. We saw this with um like other AI like a while ago. I think we're gonna have it again with AI, like the new AI, like the chat type AI and the other things. We've seen this with like almost every technology, which is it something happens, there's this super big hype for it. So in AI, we're up here still. Maybe we're even still climbing up this. We're gonna get to the top, and then we're gonna notice that it's not everything that it's out to be. Like it doesn't solve all the problems. There's too many like bugs. There's too many other things um, for mass adoption at this moment in time. And so then the hype just turns around and turns into like a nosedive down. As that becomes the trough of disillusionment, where we realize that this actually wasn't solving every problem that we can ever come up with on our own. However, what then happens is like this is not where we really want to end up. The people who still care about it are going to continue working on it. They're going to get it to a more stable position, and that's where we start using it for real. Like this is where it becomes like actually really useful. This is where you start to see all the jobs getting replaced, right? Like we're going to see people saying like, okay, now the articles being written by AI are really good. Like they're to the point where they're better than people can write them because they were pretty that's really good. Maybe like simple websites and other things are just you can't tell. Like they're better written by AI. And then we as programmers will be having to like we have to stay ahead of this. Unless someone figures out general AI will follow the same exact thing where it'll be like, oh, it's amazing. And then it'll follow the same trough of disillusion, then get to the point where we actually can start using it for real. Will AI take our jobs? I mean, so that's such a generic answer. The answer is yes and no. Will AI take some jobs? Absolutely, they will. Will AI take all jobs? No, they won't, because every single time, what happens when we have any innovation, and I believe this is going to be the same with AI, is that it opens up new sectors of work, new types of work, and if you are able to and you have the ability, so if you're in the elite few of us who are privileged to be able to like stay on top of technology and like keep on learning and keep on growing, then we can stay ahead of that. And that's like we will be able to ride the wave Like while this is happening and while it's going down, we should be preparing for it and like getting ahead of it. So yes, but then that doesn't mean we should still have we won't have that job anymore. We'll be on to the next one. So does that answer the question? It's another way I like to think about it is the scene in Alice in Wonderland. The Red Queen. The Red Queen told like told the cards, okay, off with her head. And so Alice takes off running down a forest path, and the cards are chasing her. And they have the axes. They're gonna drag her back and take her head off. But then I don't know if it was like the queen who cast a spell. I can't remember, but the path started being like extending out at the same sort of distance that Alice was running. So as she ran, the path extended at the same pace that she was running. And the cards were running at the same pace that Alice was. And so she realized that if she stopped running, she'd die. If she ran too fast, she would burn out and then couldn't run anymore. So she had to keep this like nice pace going. And that was it. That was the rest of her life, was just keeping on this pace. That's what we got to do. We got to find a way to like have a nice pace where we're just constantly running, but not to the point where it burns us out, and we can just keep on learning. Junior dev positions will change. Just like our to the point where, like, have you noticed in the last few years, very few companies even advertise for junior dev positions anymore. Used to be that you could find junior dev positions, and it would like you'd actually get results. Like you'd get people saying like, "Hey, yeah, I want a junior." You don't get that anymore, and that's because there's a lot of weird little reasons for it. The biggest one is they are open for juniors still, but they're not willing to advertise it for it. So, junior positions will look more like the mid-level positions that we have right now, and nobody will really talk about that. So it'll be more important for juniors to learn just a few more skills to differentiate themselves, to grow into that space, to learn really quickly. Um, it's like everything's sliding backwards while we're moving forward, right? Because there's so many more places to learn things fast, that juniors come in will have those skills as opposed to needing to learn them on the job. The boot camp business. So I was here. I was working as a teacher in a boot camp right up here. It was amazing being in this place, and I watched it as it fell down. And that is a tough thing to be in the industry that falls into the trough of disillusionment. That's not fun. So I got out like I think I got out like around here or so. Um I don't know if boot camps I think are heading up here, but like as you noticed, they've changed. It's like it can't be the same anymore. Like that's the thing, is this is a technology trigger. So like the same technology, like AI, can do this multiple times. Multiple times it can go through this. Like when we do general AI, it's going to do this exact same thing. When we add in the ability for it to like self-driving cars like actually become a real thing that are on the roads as opposed to just hyped a lot, um, this will do the same thing like over and over and over again. We're going to see it all the time. It's not looking bright for junior devs in the future. I don't think that's the right way to think about it. It's the future is looking bright. I think what we need to do is separate ourselves from the labels. Like we are not developers. We're not, people writing code. We are people who solve problems. And we do that through development right now. And that might change. Like the how changes. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with our how changing, and our whys can stay the same. our why is like for me, I want to help people grow, improve their lives. I want people to be able to like jump into new careers as the wave of progress crashes over everything. And that like that's one of the reasons I do this stream. That's one of the reasons I did teaching for that. I work at a company that does a lot of healthcare and helps teach and improve doctors and nurses. Like that's the how changes. Like I could quit that job and then go join another one as long as it's towards my why, I'll be happy. Time learned system design on a deep level, it can help. Like I think the real answer to anybody who's like concerned about this is to um, work on something called a growth mindset. If you have a growth mindset, you can have this. It's gonna feel what's the right word for it? It's gonna feel really egotistical, really arrogant sometimes. But you want to get to a point where you can just say, yeah, okay, I'll walk into a completely unfamiliar domain, and yeah, I'll learn that fast and do it. Sure, you want to get that level of like learning and growth to the point where like, okay, yeah, whatever, I'll learn. I don't know Java. I'll learn Java for this job. I'll be ready to work on it soon. Let's go for it. Well, I think there's a lot of education type stuff, like whether or not boot camps remain exactly as they look like right now, or if there's going to be more people like me who are joining the education, like giving out education and like selling that. That's to be seen. Like for example, CJ of Coding Garden just announced his new React course. That kind of thing. Like it's like not a boot camp, but it's like a small subset of people working, like, you know, learning all together. That that's like really good. I love that type of learning. I think that leads to like the best types of results. So I think we're gonna start seeing more of that. I'm thinking about doing that myself too for some of these courses that I'm creating. So that's where I think we're heading. All right. I don't know how to get a log out. Because I don't get a log. Okay. Um, there was a log in Cypress. You can do like site.log and then have it show up here. I wonder if I can do that here. So playwright. Here, let's go to the website. Can I log? Okay. So I could do the opposite. I can get their logs and log it out with console log. That's not what I want. Ooh, okay. So can I use logger.log? Where's this from? Chromium.launch. Well, that's not helpful. Okay, so I have this page. Can I get out of page? Can I do something like page dot? No, there's no logger. There's the context. Oh, wait. There's also, is there like a browser? There's so many things here. Locator, opener. I don't think I want the frame. Maybe we could do context. Okay, so let's do context. Oh, here's the browser. Okay. Can I get the logger from this? I don't see anything logger in here. Okay, so then browser. Oh, I don't see logger. Okay, where did this come from? So we got a browser. Oh, and they launched it. Okay, so that's the logger. Console message. I don't know if any of those really help. So one of the things that I like about Cypress a little bit more than Playwright right now is that the documentation feels a little bit easier to sort of find what I'm looking for. I'm looking for like maybe it's this new what is this thing called? Oh, it's UI. Okay, so maybe there's something in the UI docs that I can use. Okay. Introducing UI mode. Oh, well that was it. Do you have like a link to the documentation for it? No? Okay, running tests. Well, that's too bad. Okay, so what I'm concerned about is this auth0. Is this what I think it is? I want to get access to this and I want to see it. Uh and so far I don't see any evidence of that. Like I want to see this thing because if I go to the next one back, it's here. Before I did the login. Although I have GraphQL URI here, but this is not the same thing as the auth0 one. That's the GraphQL. Let me open up another terminal. Okay, so I have an auth0 domain that is set. What I'm not completely sure about is if the auth0 domain, if like the .env file is being read here. So if I take a look at that, we go back into our code. Oh, you know what I think I can do? I think I can do this without the UI. And then we'll get the console logs here. Yeah. Okay. So it is finding it. Okay. So that. Okay. So this auth0 domain. Okay. So it attempts to route to here and fulfill this. Yash, hello. I'm doing good. How about you? Okay. So is this like setting up route? I'm not sure when this route. I'm not sure if this runs at runtime or if it when it sets up the code. We did some Rust earlier, and so I'm working back on the tests again. And so we're using Playwright for the test since this is TypeScript in here. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it to make sure we log in. And login's been working for the other tests as far as as far as I know, unless those broke because of how. Oh, okay. So maybe maybe all the login stuff broke. Okay, so they're setting up route. That's working. Okay. So that makes sense. Let's turn off all the onlys. I don't know which ones I have. Okay, so I have this one only on here. Okay, how about you? I think we only had the two only, so I think this will be fine. Then tags and remove this only. Okay, so if I do that, let's do an npx, open up in the UI again. Do you use any logger for Rust code? What are features you expected to have? I haven't tried any of the loggers that I've heard about. I'm thinking about creating my own for the web stuff. The features that I want to have is at least like not log out to the console any like info messages. So like, don't log any of those out in production, but do log them out locally. Uh, Log out all errors, and then eventually I also want it to send all the logs, like send info and above, or like configure to send all the logs that I want at like whatever level and above to an API. So that way I can like see those logs elsewhere. So I can say, ooh, this session is having like that crash happened or something like that. So I can it both becomes a combination of metrics and then also just sort of like seeing like, ooh, people had trouble with it. I might be able to get away with using Sentry for that. I saw that I could set it up with like just general JavaScript. Um, so maybe I can do something like that. It wouldn't work with WebAssembly though. They're still working on it. Oh, you're creating one? Nice. Sorry, Zilby. I just wanted to pet you. He made the little chirping noise of getting slightly annoyed that I woke him up. Okay, so let's run all these tests. I wonder if all of the ones that need login are gonna fail now. That's what I'm a little bit worried about. You made a shitty one. It's like a simple write in write line wrapped in functions. You have plans. Well, it's called loggery. I called mine logger. Yes, we have. Let's see. Is it just started? Like, is it? Oh, you have 11 commits on it. Okay, nice. I will. I keep on forgetting to sign in on this browser, so I can't start it right now. I'll have to keep this up and then start it later. See, scope logging, timestamps, file name, line number, clear log as start. Okay, yeah. Like all. Oh, standard out and standard error. So like mine is gonna be the one I'm writing for is like for front end stuff. It's like in the browser, so it wouldn't be necessarily standard out and standard error. It would be renders as HTML on localhost for real time view. Oh, interesting. So you can like see like a report of logs. Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. It makes me wonder. The problem with libraries is like it's so hard to like provide something else to go with it. It makes me wonder if like SQLite would be a good idea for like a logger target with something like this. Like, should you like send your logs to like a database like SQLite? I don't know. I would have to like really think about it. You had a massive desire to somehow add a Y in it. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh, not 11. You're just trying to get up code spaces like 2 commits. Okay. You support log files right now. No console logging. I would be interesting, but the problem with that is now you like have to install this other thing, and so you couldn't just use it on your own. It's like, I guess like that goes to the goal of the project, right? Like, are you trying to get like adopted by a lot of people, or is this for your own projects? Because if it's just for your own projects, then you could just say like, hey, you have to have this thing. That's what I've been doing for all my stuff. It's like, even though it's open source, it's all just like written for my own stuff. So it's like, it's not easy to like necessarily use for everything else. Well, I'll give you a star. I'm gonna throw this into Discord so that I could remember it later. So I'll throw this into general and interesting logger project. And that will be a reminder to me to go and look at that later. Oh, and somebody asked in my course, where is the course from? Is that LMS app on your YouTube channel? Is the LMS? Let's see. The courses that I that are on YouTube written by me live on stream. The new ones I also plan on writing like mostly on stream. Does it answer? Okay. Sorry about that. I got distracted by a question on Discord. No stars is not worth it right now. Well, too bad. I use stars to also like because like have you noticed this thing? I can't even click on it. You have a downward arrow and I can't click on it. There's a new thing that you can do with stars where you can organize it into different things, like things to check out, like logger projects or something like that. So that's probably what I'll do is start and add it to like a libraries to sort of keep an eye on. It's brand new. Okay, so where's my tests? Okay, so the accessibility spec, everything passed. Auth spec, you failed. So what happened here? So we go to click create account, expect received, object is equality. So we expect the route's called to be 1 and it's 0. Oh. Well, see, look at that. I was smart with this one. So in this page route here, I expect this to be called because we hit that. When we click the button and we check, this is 0. Oh, so this page.route is no longer working. Okay, so that must have been a breaking change in what we did. This is why you usually don't update your everything, like you update your libraries. Okay, so whenever a network route is set up with page.route or browser context route, the route object allows to handle the route. Okay, so we might need to go there. So I'm trying to do fulfill. Or to just cancel that. So if we take a look at this, we have page.route going to this GraphQL URI, which we already verified. We're getting the URLs for that. Unless my front end isn't actually doing the thing. So if I go to get started, create account, drop a network in here. So if I want meow2, that didn't send a request out. Oh. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Okay, hold on. That really didn't. So my code is broken. Oh, that explains something. Your email didn't save. Oh, hello stacking. Your email didn't save state when it went blank and gave an error. Right. Okay. So, well, it didn't see what the error was, and it didn't log out. Oh yeah, look at that. Well, oh, because I changed the input. I changed how inputs work. Oh yeah, that would do it. Okay. It's we just made a change this morning to make tags work the way we want. So this works. But to make it disappear when I hit this thing, we made a change. And that unfortunately seems to have it's not exactly what I wanted. So what is this gonna be? Pages, create accounts. Okay, here's my input. Here's my value. So this account state, email clone unwrap our default. So that becomes empty. Why does that become empty? Do I need like an on change? Oh, it might be a prevent default problem. Yeah, that could be that too. It's a little bit hard to tell. So let's head over here. So here's our input. So we have a callback on change. It's not preventing default on that. Now we do have this on change here. When that unchanges, goes into internal state. But then we have this props on change also. So and then what we recently did, what we added that I think caused the break is we added this use effect update. So when there's an update, set the value And so it's resetting to be nothing. And so what I need to do is capture the change and then pass it back in. That's what I need to do. So capture this change. So an on change. And then we have this account state. Interesting. So like, where is this account state email clone? Okay. Account state clone. That's a use state. Oh, is this new user default? So it's a use state. Okay, and I have this it must be below. It must be somewhere below this. Okay. I wonder if I'm going to want to separate them and just use two different states. One for, well, it doesn't really matter. We could do it for both of them. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. So I want to do a this is going to be a username on change. We need to get that account state. Okay, so we'll clone you in. I think that's all I'm gonna need here. Then I do my callback. So callback from. We'll do a move. So we have our event. This is gonna be the username, which is gonna be an attribute value. And then in here, I want to set the account state. So account state dot, I guess, deref. So we clone that out. Oh, I need to make you mutable. Then we do state dot email equals, let's just make you consistent. Email. And then I assign it back in again. So I do account state dot set state. Okay. Mismatch types. Okay, so you expected an option with an iString. Okay, so we can do a sum dot into oh, there's no into for this. I think I can do an from for it though. So I think I can do a string from email. Maybe. No. Can I do a toString? Can I deref you to get the string? As ref, oh, it's a T. ToString. There we go. Expected struct new user found a reference. Wait. Found a reference new user. I'm now confused. Oh, state is a new user. Okay, yeah. So handle state, new user. Right, that's the type it is. So now I have this new user here. I then set the email. account state. Why are you upset then? Set it to be like I've cloned you out, right? Like I've derefed you and then I clone you. And so then this should be, oh, why are you a why are you why are you a reference? I attempted to clone you and get you out. That's not right. What's going on here? Why are you giving me a reference here? So we start with this. Deref. Okay, so hold on. If I start with like what actions do I have here? So deref, oh, gives me a reference to the target. Uses borrowed data to replace owned data, usually by cloning. This is borrow generally. I don't think that's what I want. I can do to owned on it. I can deref to owned. I have access to the email and password here too. I can just reset a new one. Maybe that's what I should do. So, oh, because like if I do clone here, what do I have? I clone the state. That's the problem. As I clone the state. So if I do deref, now that gives me a reference to it. I don't necessarily want that. I want like to owns now. I want to own it. You're still a reference? Okay. It's not right. I mean, I want, okay, how about clone? We tried that. That gives me this. Okay, so if I say, hey, you are going to be type new user like that. Expect to check new user found a reference to user. New user does not implement clone. Oh. This is the first time that I feel that like Rust is now like this is not the behavior that I was hoping for the compiler. I don't like this. This I wish that it would just give me an error and say, "Hey, you can't do that," as opposed to guessing what I want and doing that instead. I mean, okay, so we implement clone. I could implement. Can I implement copy? No, I can't implement copy. That's not allowed. Okay, so I can implement clone, which means that now you are what? Now you are what I expect you to be. Is this the compiler or some funky LSP behavior? What's interesting, like, but LSP can't change the code, right? It's like LSP's telling me what it's doing. But I now have a reference, right? It's like that would be the compiler, right? And LSP is telling me, hey, that's what the compiler did. It gave you a reference to it. Has that been the case all the time? Like, is that how it always works? So that dereferences the value, and then that gives me a new copy of the value. I just never expected that clone could give me a reference to the value in the case that it didn't implement clone. Yeah, and maybe it's like not something I could have done if I don't have clone on it. I don't know. See, that it doesn't make me very happy. Okay. Now this works. So, okay. So let's take this username on change. And on this one here, we'll do on change equals username on change. And now if I go to create account, there we go. That stays in there. The same problem is happening for password. So now let's just repeat ourselves and do that. So that's going to be, say, okay, so we get our account state. We clone that. In this case, I want the password attribute value. State. Okay, so we clone the state. We change the password to be that. And then we set it back again. Okay, now that should work. Excellent. Back to these tests. Try again. Sorry, Zilby. There we go. Now these are all passing. Okay, so we expect this to become visible. Probably. Now, what's interesting is that this shows diverse there. Oh, did that not run? Oh, look at this. So my if here, I'm looking for this mutation, and that didn't work. Okay, that's exactly what we want to see. We need to do the mutation next to actually add the tag. Excellent. So mutation time. I think we already have the ability to do that. So if I do mutation, create tag, I want to insert LMS tags 1, object. I don't want to put in the ID. Don't want to add it to a course yet. So I just need the name. The string is required. Name is like that. Let's get the ID and the name back. Okay, so if I run this, oh, you're gonna yell at me because I don't have it in there. Name is I don't know. Well, we worked on Python. We talked about Python today, so we run that. Okay, Python now exists. If we come back to here and we go to tags, there's Python. Okay. So I want to copy you. Okay, so we have queries here. Let's add create tag. Okay, so that's good there. Did I saved that one, right? Let's do source database queries. Okay, then we have this thing here. Nope, undo. Okay, so I want this create tag here. So we're gonna do a hub struct create tag. I want all of you. Okay, so go find the database schema. Queries. Okay, so this is in queries we have create tag, derive, debug, and clone. Okay, great. That should now allow me to go into the API section. So we have courses mod and auth. Okay, so let's we'll do tags. S. Okay, we get to start working on this. So what do we want to do? We want to create a async function to get all the tags. So we're going to do a pub async function get. Oh, this is create tag. We need the name of the tag. So this can be name is. This could be like a stir. I think it's gonna have to be a string at some point in time. So it could be a stir. I've been trying to like decide, should I be using attribute values for like just everything in here and then turn it into strings? I might want to, but like you need to be a string eventually. So let's just do a toString when creating this, and that'll be fine. We return a result with probably the new tag that we create. Oh, I know we can return the result of this one. So this is gonna be what is it? Create tag. Create database queries. Create tag. Okay, so I want that. Oh, it's the wrong name. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. I don't want them to be the exact same name. Let's change this to insert tag. Okay, so we have create tag here. And then we'll do an LMS error. Let's throw a to do in here so it doesn't yell at us. Okay. What are you upset about? Oh, it's not create tag. It's create tag response data. That's what it is. There we go. You're happy now. Okay, so we do the insert tag. Okay, so we have to first create the variables so that I think that's that create tag variables name is just going to be that name. Oh, I could do, to make this a little bit easier, I could do something that just impulse toString. Then I can do name is name.toString. Then it can pass in the attribute value or a string or a stir or whatever I want. That works. Okay. Then we're going to create the body. That's going to be the create tag. There's more methods on here. Is it like build? Build query. Pass it into variables. I looked up what I needed to create this, and I completely forget. So let's see, we have that. Okay. So we create the body. Then next is to do the thing. I have up in super to like actually like send the GraphQL, send to GraphQL. Right, we do this as a builder. So send to GraphQL, new. Okay, so we obviously have send. We have JSON. Okay, so send, we pass it in the body. Oh, pass it in the body. We have to await this, right? Oh, you return just a result. Right, okay. So we just do that. Then I believe we send. Now we can await and question mark. Let the result equals you. Okay, what are you? Unknown. I think one of these I have to pass in a type. Oh, there it is. This one. I pass in a type of what we're going to get back. Okay. This is going to be the create tag, response data, that. So now we should know that this result is the response data, which if all I'm returning is that, I wonder if I can just do this. Yeah, I totally can. This will insert a tag. And it should give me back the response data that has the new tag that we inserted. Okay, so we're done here. Let's head back to pages tags. So when we get the form, so here's the on submit. We get the new tag state. Here's the tag name. I was attempting to set the new tag state. Oh no, that's all working. So we set that to be empty. But at this point of time, I also need to run the API call. So let's do that inside of a Yew.rs and Rust. Maybe like right here. We'll do a was and bindgen features, spawn local, async block. Most likely we're also gonna have to move in it. I no doubt want to take this and we're gonna set it in here. So after it's successfully done, we're gonna delete that. Okay. Okay. So what? New tag. Oh, I need to like. Do that. Okay, so it can move in there correctly. Unused variable, tag name. Okay, right. So that's only going to happen in here. So this is like the worst part of all this stuff. I haven't figured out better ways of dealing with like all of these. Besides like maybe trying to figure out some like other library I can create. Maybe not library, like other files to stuff this into. Or do this in the API. Or maybe some like intermediary between the API and this. So I want to call the API at this point in time. And then we're going to update. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. Call the API at this time right now. Because we might get an error. If we get an error, then we have to handle that and send a message out. If we get okay, we're going to get the data and we add it to the list of tags. And that's it. So we'll go ahead and make the call, I guess. So we'll match API tags, insert tag, pass it in that tag name. We have to await you. And then we have an okay and an error, I believe. Because this should give us a result. Okay. So we have okay, and we have the new tag. We have an error with an LMS error. We can handle the error first. So if we have an error, I want to log error. The message is going to be error creating new tag. Pass that in. That's that. Oh, and then do I have the alert store? I don't think I do. Oh, I do have the alert dispatch. Okay, so we're going to use the alert dispatch. Okay, that moves into here. Do that here as well. Move that into here. So now we can say alert dispatch. We're going to reduce mute. I want to dereference the alert store. And we're going to set it to be an alert store builder. Okay, icon. BB warning. Message. Our message is going to be error creating new tag. I really don't know what else to put in. It's just going to be for me. Alert type. BB banner type error. I think that's it now. Then we build. And I mean, at some point in time, I have to unwrap. So we do that, semicolon U. Okay, so you're happy. What are you upset about? JS value doesn't implement display. Which specific part of it doesn't? Required for JS value to implement toString. Oh, this tag name is a JS value. Oh, that is too bad. Okay. Well, that's too bad. You should be a string, but I guess that makes sense. Like we're getting out here. I'm remembering. So I remember there's a book called Pragmatic Programmer, and it basically says, well, it says a lot of things. One of the really good lessons that's super easy for us to like forget is that if something is impossible, check for it anyways, because the impossible becomes possible quite often in our code. And so we should just be defensive as often as possible. The reason I'm thinking about this is that my desire is just to throw in here a as string, which gives me this option string, and then unwrap it. But if I were to do that and it's not a string, that would be a none. There wouldn't be a string value there. And it should always be a string. Like there should always be something there, even if it's an empty string, like it just, no characters. But it technically could potentially be something else. And handling that would be a really, 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 really good idea. So what I probably want to do is turn this into not necessarily unwrap here, is maybe do like if let sum, we get the name here equals that. We do our as string. I don't unwrap you. I'm going to return the name out there. If it doesn't exist, I want to return early from this. But before we do that, I need to use the alert dispatch. So we're going to do alert dispatch. We're going to clone you, and then we're going to do a callback or reduce. At which point it's pretty much the same thing as this. So we're going to do a alert store. I want to do this entire same thing here. Maybe creating this as a function might be good. So is that 5 lines? So it's like so I do the alert dispatch, and then I want to do an early return. What are you upset about? Mismatch types. Expected. Destruct RC alert store. Found nothing. What do you mean? Why do you find nothing? Which part of you found nothing? Hmm? Okay, that's the RC alert store. I'm so confused. Mismatch types. Expect struct RC alert store. Found unit type. Nothing. So I'm returning that name out of here, but like I'm trying to return early from the else. So it's basically just done. Okay, so I'm cloning the alert dispatch. I'm reducing callback. Am I supposed to return? Oh, I'm supposed to return to the alert store. Oh! I didn't do reduce callback mute. Or is it oh, it's reduce mute. It's reduce mute. That's the problem. I did the wrong function. That works. Okay. Steven, hello. This is a kitty cat. He's around 2 years old. I want to pet him, but he's sleeping. That'll wake him up. But his name is Ilby, and he's he's been with us for what, 2 years or so. He's grown quite big, and he hangs out with us every once in a while. Okay, so if I somehow don't have a tag name here, now don't handle that. Okay, so borrow move value alert dispatch. Okay, so alert dispatch. So I use that elsewhere up here. Right here. Okay, so I need to do the okay, so this is use effect one. So let's do our block trick. Oh, I could just copy it from elsewhere because I use that so often. Okay. That makes you happy. So at this point of time, if I attempt to do like an empty tag, I think that'll still do it. Missing field data. Insert LMS tags 1, not found in type mutation root. Oh, interesting. Okay. So that. Hi, Sylvie. Are you cold? Oh, he might be cold. Here, I'll turn on the heater. Okay. So you couldn't find. Okay. So insert LMS tags 1 not found and type mutation root. Which we are trying to do this. Insert LMS tags 1 that exists here, but I have to admit we're not logged in. And that's probably why it fails to work, because here I have this. And if I take that out, yeah, there's no insert LMS tags 1. So temporarily, I will enable this. So let's do LMS tags. I want to permissions. I will allow, I want to eventually make it so that authors can do this only. But I will say, okay, so public, sure, can insert a name. Well, I guess like they have to do an ID too. I wonder, I'm curious about that now. I don't remember which one we have. So if I do that, now let's try this again. Oh, error create, there, we got our error. Nice. Let's try this again. Great, I successfully added an empty object. Okay, so I should probably prevent that. So let's do, how do I want to do validation on this? I would need to basically validate like, hey, we need to have a tag. You need to have at least a tag. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna figure out how I want to do that kind of validation later. Do I do that in the, I have to do it here because it's business logic. Or by here, I mean, I have to do that in the pages. Oh yeah, this is pages tags. I have to do that here. So on submit, tag on submit, I have to validate it. And if it's invalid, I have to have an error message that basically, yeah, okay. So then I have to do another error message here. So here we get this tag name. If let's tag name. Oh, I could do it here at this point. This is getting not great. So if name is empty, if your is empty, I want to do this entire thing. So except the error is going to be cannot create a tag without a name. And then we do want to essentially I want to return. Otherwise, I give the name back to that thing. I don't like it. Oh, that's funny. It's a llama. Oh, he's now facing the camera, kind of. I think he likes to look outside sometimes. Okay, so let's try this. If I come here, I hit empty, cannot create a tag without a name. Perfect. And I think if I'm doing that, it does not send. Oh yeah, I just loaded the warning icon. But besides that, it doesn't send the request. So perfect. So, okay. Now we should be able to like actually create the tag. So let's do, we have Yew.rs, Python, we could do Rust. That creates it. There we go. Okay, so I created the rest. It's not added into here yet, but if I hit refresh, there it is. Here's that empty space one in here. That's fun. Then I want, when I create it, I want to append it to the list of tags immediately. So after we do this, that's going to be that okay. Here's this okay right here. We have a tag. This tag is the response data. I want to, this is not alert dispatch. This is now going to be the tags dispatch, courses dispatch. Okay, so we'll clone that into here. We'll move that into here. We get the tag name, and we get that out. We're going to need to do that again right here. We move it in here, so now we can use this. So we can now do a courses dispatch, reduce mute. We'll have to move. We're going to get the course store or courses store. Okay, courses store. What do we have on here? We have tags. There we go. Okay, so tags is a vector with a store tag. So I want to do tags. I'm going to push. It's a store tag. The ID is going to be the tag dot ID. I think we have that. And then tag dot name. You're not helping out. No field ID on create tag response data. Oh, the available fields are insert LMS tags one. That's what it is. Okay, so tags, insert LMS tags one dot ID. Okay. Nope. Now what do I have? Asref, Azimut, is some, is none. Oh, it's an option. Oh, it's an option. As in, we might not have it? Where do I put that? Database, queries. Well, not that one. It's like database, queries, get tags, create tag. Ooh, can I like say, like, you have to return. I really want this to be able to say, you have to return an ID. You have to return a name. Oh, is it because it might fail? It's like Python 3, let's say now. I get this back. Okay, so we have data, insert LMS tags 1, ID. What was it? It was insert. Oh, come on. Tag. I don't want to use, okay, I want to use that one. Tag dot. Well, you're not helping me at all. Are you done? Oh, come on. Okay, so I think it's this thing. Insert that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So what are you? You are an option. Okay, so you're an option. So before I do this, we should then grab this out. And if we don't have it, that means it didn't successfully do it. Okay, so then let's do this. Let's get out of there, and then we'll have a none. So an okay with a none inside. And then we'll handle that later. Okay, so then this one I should be able to do. Oh, but it's not that. Oh. Because the sum isn't there. The sum is on the other side. Fine. Okay, let's do let. We can shadow the tag here. Tag equals if let sum tag equals tag dot insert 1. If you exist, return that tag. If you don't exist, we need to do the error again, because like it didn't create it for some reason. It did not create it. It should create it, but it didn't. So we need to do this alert dispatch. We do this all the way through line 7. Okay. So we now have a tag that we expect it to be. And so now I think we can just do tag.name, I think. There we go. Tag.id. Tag.id, tag.name. So now you're happy. Now you are if and else if. Okay, so if you failed here, we do the reduce mute, and then we again have to do like an early return. I'm not very happy with this code. The alerts is starting to become a major problem. So we're gonna have to fix that, because like it takes way too much effort to create these alert here. So I think what I need to do is create another method or something. I can do the dispatch mute, but I need to make this easier. Okay, so we're doing errors all the time with it. That, I guess it kind of makes sense. So then I push you in. So let's say if I save you, does it work? Does it do the thing? Does it just hang there and not load? Or do we have an error here? We have an error here. Value borrowed here after move. Okay, so we have Alert dispatch. Nope. We'll clone you. I think that'll make you happy. No, it did not. Tags line 82. Of course, dispatch is upset because we used it before. Oh, that would, okay. That would do it. There it is. Well, I'm cloning that there. Variable moved due to use. Oh, I need to clone it here. That's what it is. Okay. Okay. That's successfully compiled. Okay. Let's do this again. Tag name. We've done, let's do Python 2, let's say. Python 2 is there. There we go there. If I hit refresh to get everything from the database, it still exists. If we go and we take a look at these, we'll do query, LMS tags, LMS tags. I want the ID and the name. I really don't like this in Hasura where I have these query variables for up here, but this query I'm trying to run doesn't want them, and so it yells at me. It's like that doesn't make sense. Okay, here we go. We have all the new stuff, and if we try to create an empty one, it will yell at me. Cannot create a tag without a name, and it's not there again. Okay, so I now can create that. Let's run our tests again. That did not work. Okay, what happened? To be visible, false. Okay, so it expects get by text the new tag name that we created, which looks like it's going to be kilogram. Maybe. To be visible. Oh, I want this to be visible false, and it already found it before it did the thing. Oh, well, that would obviously be a problem. Now, what I was hoping to do would be if the post data search mutation. Did we already do a mutation in here? We must have done a mutation at some point in time in like the route fulfill. I don't get any of the fun stuff. This must have run. Tooks, hello. Am I a Ruby on Rails dev? I have never written any I have never written any Ruby on Rails. I have debug / pair programmed on it, but that wasn't me writing it. So no, I've never really done any real dev on Ruby or Rails. So I think I'm adding this in when I'm not supposed to. I think I should search for something different. Mutation is probably not the right thing to search for. Oh, what do I use at work? During the day job, we're a lot of Node.js. Oh, a lot of Node.js, a lot of TypeScript, a lot of Cypress. We're using AWS, and we're using Pulumi to sort of control AWS. But our main things for web dev, we're using TypeScript and Vue. For backend stuff, we're using Node.js and Express and TypeScript. Let's change it. We don't know what the query is going to be, don't we? So if we take a look at this network tab, we can actually see it, right? This was get the tags. I think I lost it. Let's do a. Here's our post to request. I want to mutation create tag. So I want to copy you. This is going to be the tag spec. So it's not just mutation. I want to look for a mutation create tag. If I see that, then add this tag name in. And I'm just sort of giving it a random number of 50. That's fine. Okay, let's try that again. Do I have side projects, SaaS? So this is specifically a side project for me. It's a software as a service. Yeah, I guess a teaching as a service, maybe. I guess that would be the closest that we can come to it. It's a, what would I say? It's teaching as a service. Yeah, yeah, that's all. I guess I would think about it. Oh, oh, wait. I think I know what's going on. Did you all pass and then one of you failed? Um, best stack to make a SaaS. These days, I would say that the best stack to make a SaaS project would be whatever you are comfortable working on that you can build on it. It's like if it's an actual project to like make money with, I would say like it's whatever skills you have, that's the best one to use. So if you know Ruby on Rails, that's the best one to use. If you know Node.js and Express, just build it out in that. If you know like Rust, build it out in that. Whatever you know and are fastest on and like can get feedback from customers, that's what you do it in. Okay, so that's still creating that. How did I choose web dev over mobile? When I first, okay, so I knew coding by being a systems administration. So I knew some like back end dev. I was struggling a lot with front end dev for like web development, and I do remember I had an app that I wanted to build for like a phone app, and so I went out and I bought. There was this one book, and I can't remember exactly what it's called. I bought a book for building web like mobile apps using Objective C and Xcode at the time. I don't have it anymore. I think I threw out the book, or I like gave it away, or I probably donated it to the library at the time. That was like 3 houses ago, and I remember getting really excited about it, opening up um, opening up Xcode and just couldn't figure anything out. I got like so confused about, well, how does the code run? Like, because my entire mentality was scripts, like simple programs that like run top to bottom and do that. And now I'm running like something that's like super confusing and it doesn't run when I want to. There's asynchronous stuff, there's synchronous stuff, it's Objective C. I knew C, but not like Objective C was a completely different monster. And and like I was able to make like a graphical thing. I was able to make an interface, but I couldn't make anything work. And so I just like gave up on it because like the problem was the book was teaching me how to use stuff if I already knew how to use like programming. And it wasn't really good at like teaching the graphical elements of like the right mindset for it. And so I just gave up on it. And later on, I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to learn web development because that one makes a lot more sense to me than whatever that was. These days, I would not have the same problem anymore because I've learned how to learn that kind of stuff. And it's it's really fascinating how that works. But yeah, that's how I chose web, is by basically running as far away from mobile after that experience as possible. Okay, so I am not deep cloning the tags here. I think that's a problem. I'm getting a new version of tags mock data here. If that has this create tag, push this in. What's interesting to me, from your side, you're really struggling to choose between WebJS or iOS native dev. Um, Once you learn like programming and you learned like one of them really well, switching to the other, I mean, won't be easy, but it will be very doable. Like by the time you get to that point. So the first one you choose should really like solve a problem for you. Like, if you want to get a job, choose one that has the most jobs in the area that you're living in. Like go for that route, because later on it's not like a it's like an RPG game where the town is going to be destroyed as soon as you leave it, and you're never going to go back and like talk to the trainer again to learn the other path. Like you're it's not going to be like, okay, we're going to be a ranger or a barbarian. You're going to be able to be both. You just have to choose one and train with it first, and then you can come back and do the other one and multi-class. Hope you enjoyed like my three different metaphors they just managed to shove in there. It doesn't really work, but we yeah, it's a thing. Okay, so I'm curious when I do this, it's a post. I'm getting this create tag. Does that make sense? If I look at the raw one, okay, so I have this variables query mutation create tag. So I'm searching for this right now inside of it. And I think the way this works, I do this page route for that. We're going to give it the tags coming back. So I create the tags with this mock data. If I search through the post data and I find this create tag, then push in the tag we created up here. Which to me, this means this is happening. This is happening now. Like this is happening too early. So we do the login. The login's not working. I don't know why. We'll have to figure that out eventually. We have this generating. Like this word is the new one. This is the one it's not supposed to have. Can I see network? No. Oh, interesting. Okay. I could do log. No, this is not. Okay. I wish I could see the network on this. Metadata? No, that's not helpful. Let's do this again. Oh, if I have the network tab. Oh, wait. The network showed me a lot of stuff. And then it disappeared. What happened? Okay, so I go slash there. Okay, I click this, and here I get this post. Okay, so post GraphQL application JSON. Okay, so go to GraphQL. Query LMS tags. Oh, right. Because I clicked on the tags link. Okay, so here's what I got. Query LMS tags. And I put in a tan here. That's not what I want. Twisted Seed, hello. How are you doing today? Nowhere in here is the word mutation. So this code is not doing what I expect it to. Okay, well, MDN string search. I thought that search would like return a 0 if it didn't find it. But apparently that's not how it works. So wait a second. So if I search through this for like the quick, that gives me, okay, I don't care about you. It gives me 0 because it starts there. If I search for something that doesn't exist, the -1. It's a -1. It's a -1. So, for those of you who don't know JavaScript, any number that's not 0 is truthy. So a negative number is truthy, which means that this was running every time. I mean, yeah, it was just running every time. So if we hit this at there, now let's try running you. I know, man, not a number. That would have been a better result. That would have been better because not a number is falsy, at least. Do you do the same thing? Did you not actually solve the problem? Okay, so I go to tags. We get the first tag, which is this one. We click it, and you have this content here. Okay, so you didn't actually do the thing. Did I not? No, I saved it. So I want to say if the post data, okay, so that's the next thing is like, is it post data? Is that what I want? Well, wait, even if it doesn't have anything, that should be it, right? So if you're -1, oh wait, no, opposite. If you're greater than or equal to 0, then do that. Okay, I did backwards. Now what? Now why? Let's just look at one of them. Go to slash. Why are you failing? Get user info x unknown. I feel like it went to the actual thing, which I didn't want it to do. Yep. I did not. Oh. Okay, so there's that. Oh, and then here, okay, now I put in the name. Okay, so I expect. Where is that? Error logging in. Go to tags. I type in Cambridgeshire. And then I immediately get this new tag. Okay, so I get this. Okay, that. Expect that to be empty. Okay, so wait. Okay, expect not to be able to find that. I didn't find it. Get by label, tag name. That's that thing. Type Cambridgeshire, so the tag name. Oh, it hits return. I then hit return on it. It fulfills the route. Which returns back these tags, which hopefully this did the thing. And then expect this to be visible. And now that's not. Great. Okay. You are not visible. What happened? So let's see. Now I want you to be greater than equal to 0. You did not do the thing. Which makes me wonder what the post data is. Like, is that not right? Should it be something else? Okay. It's console.log what the post data is. I have to do the normal test like this, apparently, because otherwise it doesn't show. Okay, so we have, oh, it's in query. It's in query, not in post data. Okay. Oh, no, it's post data dot. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. That's fine. Oh, it's got post data diet dot query. I think it's something like that. Query does not exist. Okay, hold on. What were you? We saw. So we logged out post data, and so we have this object here, variables, no query. Is it an object? Is it just the full object that I have? So I want post data dot query. Was there one that's a mutation? Post data dot mutation? No, it's still a query. Okay. Oh no. You are not going to like this. Oh no. Is there any way so I'm only passingly familiar with TypeScript. Is there a good way for me to like convert this over and like to tell it, hey, it's this type, it's this interface? Uh so can I say it's something that has like a query on it that has a that's a string? No. Type string or null is not assignable to type query string. Oh no. Wait, you're claiming to be a string. I'm so confused with this now. Okay. Let's do another console.log. Let's give it a label now. So we'll do something like that. I want to do post data. Let's also do a typo. Let's see what you are. I'm worried that this isn't actually a string. I've got another console log in there that I should get rid of. And setting up the route. I think that's in somewhere. Okay, it is a string. There's a mutation create tag. Okay, so if we have this, we know it's a string. If I come into here and we just do, let's change you. I want to, okay, so if we did the search, we'll just do this as like found the tag. Or like we are mutating. What are you upset about? Post it. Oh, it's possibly null. Yeah. Can I do this thing? No. You won't let me use the question mark operator? I thought that was a thing in TypeScript. Okay, so we have that. We are mutating. Okay, so in this mutate here, we are mutating. We are mutating. It's line 54. So at the very end of all of this, we expect the tag name to be visible. And we're getting by text. That kind of makes sense. So we expect the input value to be that. We expect you. I hit enter. It's waiting for you to finish. If after enter, can I wait for like page dot wait for request? Wait for the matching request and returns? Wait for response. Okay, wait for a request. A string, oh, a URL or predicate. And then I get the request. Alternate way with a predicate, note no await. Oh, interesting. Oh, because you're getting a promise. Wait for request to that thing. Okay, so I can do maybe the GraphQL URI. Was that it? That might have been it. That is passing all the tests now. Okay, let's clean up all these console logs. I've got there, and I've got utils here. Oh, wait. Oh. Suddenly now the author can create a new flag is red. Okay. That's failing. So we got like we got everything working the way we want it to working, at least as far as we can tell, but it's still not passing. So clearly we're doing something wrong. Come on, last time out. Oh, now it's yelling at me for that? "30 seconds is seated while waiting for event request." Okay, so we have this page, wait for request, But then it's like, huh. Whereas this one failed at, okay, it looks like they failed at different places. Let's try this with the UI again. Okay, so specifically the tags, let's just run those. Okay, so the navigate there, the see the list, that's all working. It's this one that's not. Yeah, and we're not seeing the Axum, like we're seeing the two tags that I had previously. So it's still not doing the thing that's expected. Okay, so expect to be visible. No, not visible. That's passes. Get this tag name. Enter in the tag name, Jewel. It then waits for a request and that fails. So the wait for the request is failing. All right, we may have to continue this, or I may have to continue this off stream because it is after 12 now. I was thinking about leaving and ending a little bit earlier, but this is, let's see, what is it? Tag spec. This is not very helpful, or this is not very. This is not happening. It's not working. So I press. Okay, so I type the tag name. I press enter. Do we just have a ton of new things in here? No, because I'm trying to, yeah, I'm intercepting those just fine. So I'm intercepting the route here. I'm creating the new mock data. I wonder if the problem is that this is running not at runtime. Like, I wonder when this runs. Like, I wonder if I actually should do something like this. Const tags new tags. Okay, so we get the tags with mock data. We do, I push this in. Okay. Push you in. And then I have to fulfill one or the other. Oh, I keep this here. If you're the mutation create tag, we fulfill you with new tags. Is that what I need to do? I'm a little bit worried that it's always going to be this tags. Yeah, it's failing. So I think I'm not understanding how to do the routes. I think that's the problem I'm running into. Is I need to do two different route things depending upon what's inside of it, which is unfortunate. I don't think this is, I think it's running, but I think it's like set this up ahead of time. And so therefore, this doesn't run at the beginning, this runs. And that's why we always get it. That's what I'm thinking is happening. And so unless I can copy this entire thing, which I think I maybe can, maybe I can do something like, let's say I don't do this. Let's say we just do this tags, right? Like we get the tags and we fulfill with that. So then I take you. We press, okay, we get all the tags. So then before we do this, I paste you in. And we do another route. This is for GraphQL, and so maybe I'm overwriting and I'm replacing the previous one, possibly. So then I want tags dot data LMS tags to push. We're gonna have the ID of like 50 and the name is gonna be tag name. Okay, if I do that, are you happy? Otherwise, I think I'm going to have to do a little bit more research. Figure it out. Maybe I'll do that off stream if I have time. Otherwise, I'll be, we'll look into it on Monday. Yeah, it's the same exact problem here. Okay. I'm going to have to, we're unfortunately going to have to end at this point because like sort of like in a not completed state, but we'll have to figure it out. So thank you thank you for hanging out with me though. We did get some stuff done. It's just more of ending on like not quite getting the testing to pass. And so I need to figure out what's going on here with my intercepts and why that isn't working. So anyways, thank you again for hanging out. I will be back on Monday morning at around 7 a.m. Mountain Time to continue with this, and we'll figure it out. Yep, that's exactly right, Chantilly. Almost there. Bye, Rumul. Have a great rest of your day, Saturdays and weekends, and have a good one. Bye.